It's the middle of the night. You wake up, it's 2 a.m., and you are completely, inexplicably awake. No alarm, no noise, nothing. And the first thing your brain does is panic because clearly something is wrong with you. Except nothing is wrong with you. Ancient humans didn't sleep in one long block. They slept in two, and the quiet hour in between wasn't insomnia, it was the design. Here's what makes that 2 a.m. waking feel like a malfunction. Every piece of modern sleep advice tells you that 8 unbroken hours is the goal. But that standard has a history, and it is a lot shorter than you think. A historian named Roger E. Kirsch spent 16 years combing through pre-industrial records, diaries, court documents, medical texts, prayer guides, and found the same 2 phrases appearing so casually, so unremarkably, that they clearly described something everyone already understood. First sleep and second sleep. Not as a curiosity, not as a remedy for the sick, as the default. A 16th century physician recommending the best time to study specified the hour between first sleep and second sleep. The way a modern doctor might say, "Take it with food." Nobody needed the phrase explained. It was just how nights worked. Then came the biological proof that E. Kirsch's paper trail was pointing at something real. A researcher named Thomas Ware at the National Institutes of Health took a group of volunteers and placed them in conditions of extended natural darkness, roughly 14 hours of darkness per night for several weeks. He told them nothing about what he expected. Within 3 to 4 weeks, without any coaching, they reorganized their sleep into 2 distinct blocks, with a quiet waking period of roughly an hour in between. The body didn't need to be convinced. It just remembered. And here is the part that should stop you cold. During that waking hour, Ware measured prolactin levels in his subjects, prolactin being the hormone most associated with calm, dreamy relaxation, the same one that floods your system after certain kinds of deep rest. It spiked, measurably, consistently. The people lying awake between their 2 sleep blocks were not anxious. They were physiologically serene. Ancient accounts describe this window as a time for quiet prayer, for conversation, for simply existing in a half-lit, half-awake state that has no real modern name. It was not lost time, it was built into the architecture, which leaves the obvious question sitting right there. If this is what the body naturally defaults to, what exactly dismantled it? That quiet waking hour Ware measured, the one where prolactin spikes and people just existed, in the dark, does that sound like something you've actually experienced at 2 a.m.? Drop your answer in the comments below. Because what killed that natural rhythm is a story that starts with artificial light and moves somewhere you probably didn't expect. What killed that calm, unhurried waking hour was not a gradual biological shift. It happened fast, and it happened because of a technology so ordinary, you probably have one in every room of your house. In the early 19th century, gaslighting began spreading through European and American cities. For the first time in human history, you could push the night back. Bedtimes shifted later. The pressure to consolidate wakefulness into the evening hours grew. Then, electric light arrived and finished the job. Melatonin, which your brain releases in response to darkness, got suppressed earlier and earlier in the evening, which pushed sleep onset later, which compressed the whole architecture. 2 blocks became 1. Not because the body redesigned itself, because the environment changed faster than evolution could follow. And here is the piece of evidence that ties it all together. Jerome Siegel, a sleep researcher at UCLA, tracked the sleep patterns of the Hadza, a hunter-gatherer community in Tanzania living without electric light, and found something that should reframe everything. Across the group, periods of simultaneous deep sleep were remarkably rare. At almost any given hour of the night, someone in the community was awake. The group was its own alarm system. Staggered waking was not a bug in the design. It was the entire point. One person's quiet, prolactin-soaked waking hour was the next person's light sleep. The community never went fully dark. Siegel's team also found that fewer than 2.5% of the hunter-gatherers they studied experienced insomnia more than once a year. Read that slowly. A population sleeping without blackout curtains, without white noise machines, without melatonin gummies, and almost none of them had insomnia, because they were sleeping the way the body was built to sleep. So the next time you wake at 2 a.m. and your brain starts catastrophizing, here is what is actually happening. Ancient hardware is running correctly in a world that no longer matches it. Your ancestors were awake at exactly this hour, calm, unhurried, doing nothing in particular, and they were fine. Your body is not broken, it is just very, very old. Subscribe if you want more like this, and watch this one next. It goes even deeper.